Hi everyone! So I just picked a bunch of greens from my garden. I'm gonna make a big old green juice, and then I did some sprouts here. Got some sprouts going. We got alfalfa sprouts, and then these are also my favorite is mung bean sprouts. There we go, mung bean sprouts. I like it when the mung beans get a little bit bigger when they grow. A lot of people kind of like to eat them in this stage, but I like to let them grow until they start sprouting little leaves. I think they're much tastier that way. And they kind of act as like a noodle, almost like a crunchy noodle in your veggie dish. I don't know, I just like them that way. And I'm in an apple kick right now. Are you guys in an apple kick right now too? Like Miss Staci here, guys. I am in an apple kick. I love having Fuji apples and Envy apples. They're my favorite type of apple. I think they are so flavorful and so sweet. I love the sweetness of these type of apples, and they provide a fantastic flavor to green juices. That's just me, guys. That's my taste preferences. But I love Fuji apples and Envy apples. But we've been getting a lot of jazz apples and a lot of these other different types of apples I've never heard of or tried before, so I've been picking up new ones and trying new ones, which is awesome. Really, really cool because I've never seen them or heard of them before. And this is one of them. It's a Kiku apple, and so I think that's how you pronounce it, but it's a super good apple. My goodness, this is a mighty tasty apple. So in this green juice, I'm putting my mom's homegrown apples, the rest of my mom's homegrown apples, and then I'm putting in one sort of small, this is a golden beet, one golden beet, and then I have a variety of greens, which is green leaf lettuce, and I've got regular lettuce, and I've got Swiss chard, including the stems, because the Swiss chard stems I think are so delicious. It's kind of like celery, only a little bit more flavorful, a different type of flavor to it, but this is white Swiss chard. I also have red and yellow and pink Swiss chard in the garden there. But then I have some other greens. I'm not sure what it is, but it's really tasty in a green juice. So that's one thing I've noticed is these leaves have gotten huge. Like this is dinky compared to some of the massive leaves I've had this summer, and they make superb wraps, like the perfect for a wrap. It's not a colored green, but I've been using it in juices and they've been superbly tasty. So this is the rest of my juice here, guys. As I clean my juicer, of course, I just like to sip on the green juice, and I think it's very good to definitely take your time when you eat. I know we're all in this stressful, like stressed out phase or era of life, you know, or generation, I guess. We're always so busy, and that takes a really big toll on our health, like a lot of you guys already know, and you feel it. And I think that's why, especially, it's interesting how when you come to a raw foods lifestyle, a lot of people tend to just automatically start simplifying their life and really trying to let me move you guys up there. You guys are falling down just a little bit. Yes, just stay. Stay, guys. Stay now. Hey now, stay now. But yeah, when you come to a raw foods lifestyle, it's really, you just start getting those feelings of wanting to really simplify your life and just really like chill out, you know, really chill out and really take care of yourself. Because once you have felt those feelings of actually feeling good and calm and rest, restful, you know, rested and just all around vibrating at a very good, peaceful level, you don't want to leave that feeling ever again. So you try to avoid any stressful situation or any thing in your life that causes just a lot of like in your life, you know, because that steals your peace. It steals your peace. And it's really good to always be at peace and happiness and at rest and calm inside, because that's one thing, is it really hinders on your digestion. Like I'm sure a lot of you raw foodies already know this, that it really does hinder on your digestion, really. And once you finally have calmed down and you just like enjoying, really truly actually enjoying your life, you know, your digestion starts working a lot better. So I don't know about you guys, but that's one thing I know ever since I've been low fat raw vegan, and I've really altered and changed my life around, you know. That's one thing I've always found, that now that I'm much more calmer and a better state of everyday life and everything just feels much more better. Mighty good. Nothing is as good as getting your produce straight from your garden. Like literally after you've picked it and then you consume it. It's so good. Like I can taste the difference between the greens that I buy at the store and then the greens that I grow in my garden. I mean, in the variety and different types of greens, it's just so good. And actually to this juice, I actually added about half of a lime to it also, which made it really good. And that's one thing I know for me, you guys, I kind of go through cycles. Like especially with greens, but like lemons and limes, I know a lot of you guys, especially in my raw recipes, you never see me really eat any limes or use limes, and that's because I'm not really a limey type person, you know. But I go through phases, you know. I kind of prefer lemons, but now I'm kind of getting into a lime kick, and I know there's a lot of dressings that I actually do use lime in too, that I'll be sharing with you guys, of course. But I got to get to it, you know. But like limes, I do like limes though. Don't get me wrong, you guys. I love limes. I really do. It's just, you know, phases, you can go through cycles and phases, like for a couple days or even a couple weeks, a couple months, or even a couple years. For me, it's kind of like months and years, because that's one thing I've noticed is like my tomato dressing. There's like a standard tomato dressing that I just love. And I remember when I first went low fat raw vegan, I just had kind of that same tomato, fresh chili pepper, leek onion, and dates. I kind of had that combination for my dressing and kind of made it into a salsa, but then kind of made it into an actual dressing and then used it as a dip and everything. And I did that for at least the first couple years, and because it tasted so good, and obviously the body was wanting it, was needing it and everything. But then of course there comes a time where it just kind of the switch kind of gets flipped off, you know, and you kind of start moving into other things, you know, other types of produce. And so like that type of dressing, I haven't had that in a long time. Like it's been a couple years now since that. Well, actually not a couple years. I want to say roughly probably about maybe half a year to a year since I've actually had that, because I've just haven't been wanting that combination. I've been having a lot of corn dressings and stuff, and it's just like raw corn dressings, and it's just it's interesting how the body cycles through things, you know. And I know for me personally, as far as greens go, you guys, is I love getting my greens in a juice. I love getting it in a juice form, though I do know that they say that it's good to have your greens with fats, with a little bit of fats. Like you need, I think they were saying at least like 5 or 6 grams of fat in your salad meal, so your body can easily absorb all the nutrients from the greens, you know. And it's really interesting when you look that up and look it up and then hear what other raw foodies have to say about it. And it does make a difference. It makes a huge difference. But for me, that's something I struggle with, you guys. I really can't have well, it's not that I can't, I just don't really want to have my fats with my dinner meals, you know. I just don't want that. And so at times I do have that, but at times I don't. Most times I kind of don't, because I kind of just prefer having my greens in a green juice, you know. So, but that's just me. That's just mistakes, guys. Because, you know, as you go along on your raw foods journey, you know, or your health journey in life and everything, that you're always learning more, and you're always kind of tweaking things and changing things, and then you kind of adapt to other things, you know, and it kind of just takes time, you know. It just kind of takes time. So for any of you guys out there, or for the viewers who are interested in Alaska, are interested in the Alaska climate and everything, or being raw vegan in cold climates, well, I mean, I guess especially Alaska, since a lot of you guys are really interested in the Alaskan life. Well, just to let you guys know, it's fall time. Fall time usually starts, well, I'm in Fairbanks, Alaska. Fairbanks, Alaska is my hometown. For me personally, you guys, I was born and raised up here in Fairbanks, Alaska. Alaska is my darn home. It's my home. I love Alaska, but I hate Alaska, okay? It's a love-hate relationship for me. And but I love Alaska. I truly do. And that's one thing, is I would love to stay here for the rest of my life if it just wasn't so cold and the light wasn't so screwed up throughout the year, you know. And for any of you who have been following me long enough, you guys kind of have a good idea of kind of how Alaska, especially kind of in the interior, how it kind of is. And but since it's fall time usually starts like at the beginning of August, like the last day of July and the first day of August. It's like someone just flipped the switch. Like the summer heat is gone. Summer heat is gone, and you can just, the feeling just like immediately changes to fall time. And then you know what's coming after fall, and fall is so short. And August can be really, really nice. It can be really nice, but it can also be extremely bad, because usually our falls are very cloudy and very wet and rainy. And very cool, really starts cooling off quickly. But like I said, some years it can be extremely nice. But I know fall really starts setting in very quickly, and you can actually start seeing, usually by mid-August, you kind of start seeing the leaves starting to change a little bit. You know, kind of on the bum trees. You know, there's always those bum plants or bum trees out there that they're still hanging on, but they're just kind of dying though. But they're usually the ones that go first, that start changing first, you know. And so we actually had our first, well, actually real quick, like the land really starts changing colors usually by Labor Day weekend, which is the first part of September. So last part of August, the first part of September. And actually we had our first frost the other night. It was September 8th or 9th, I believe. It got down below, it got down to freezing. And I remember, actually, yeah, just a couple nights ago, like at night, you can see your breath. It's like pitch black at night now. So it gets dark, like you really start noticing the darkness at 8, or actually it's 8:30 or 9 now in the evening. And and you can really start to see your breath too outside. But like in the morning, you see frost on the grass outside. So the plants, especially in the garden, kind of took a shock there. So it's time to really start picking everything. I know for my mom's garden, which I did like a garden tour for you guys, and we have already picked everything from the garden already, and the moose, they're making their rounds through everything, munching things down. Tons of red foxes everywhere up there at my mom's house and everything. But so moose and foxes, but then so we've kind of picked everything. But I know from my own garden, I'm picking all my greens as all I can that I can, and really juicing things up and everything, because the frost is really taking a hit to the plants now. So yeah, that's just for all you people out there who are interested in the Alaskan climate. You know, it's so funny because some of you guys kind of ask me like, are you from Alaska? You have an accent. And you guys, first of all, I am from Alaska. Like I said, I was born and raised here in Fairbanks, Alaska, and so I am purely Alaskan. This accent that I kind of do, it's just something funny that I do, you know? It's just because I'm happy and I'm excited when I do my videos, and this kind of southern sounding type accent comes out, and I'm just in a goofy mood, you know, just in a goofy mood. And so that's kind of where that comes from. A lot of the people up here in Alaska are kind of mainly from military, but it's funny because a lot of people eventually move too, of course, because of the cold, of course, because that's what Alaska is. The climate is classified as an Arctic desert because we're super dry, but we're super cold, super cold. But that is one thing that I always think about. I'm like, you know what? This is what makes Alaska so darn unique and so freeing, is the cold is what keeps most of a majority of the human population away. And that's what keeps Alaska so freeing and so beautiful, is because the human population is not bombarding it, you know, is not destroying it. So Alaska remains preserved in cold, cool temperatures and in ice and snow most of the year. But I mean, it's just the human population is not destroying things, you know, and that's what keeps Alaska so almost pure. And so that the cold is what keeps most people away. And so the people that remain up here are the ones who don't mind living their life in a cold environment. And I'm talking like 30 below, 40 below, I'm talking even 50 and 60 below, sometimes even 70 below freezing. I mean, this is Fahrenheit. And my mom, she grew up when it would get 70 below zero Fahrenheit up here. And of course, I've been grown up in 30, 40 below, but 50 and 60 below. The coldest I have felt and that I've seen, it's just, oh my gosh, it's amazing what it does to the buildings. It is 60 degrees below zero Fahrenheit. And it's very difficult living life, everyday life in cold temperatures. And that's one thing, is when the cold is here, it's here to stay. I mean, it does not, I mean, Fairbanks, Alaska, specifically Fairbanks, Alaska, the interior, is the coldest city in the United States. I mean, you guys can even look that up yourself. I didn't know that until actually a couple months ago, when my dad was listening to the news or something, and they were doing like the coldest cities in the United States and the 50 coldest cities in the United States. And of course, this is the local news, and of course they were saying, and number one, and it was funny because my dad was saying, Cindy, which is my mom's name, Cindy, I betcha Fairbanks, Alaska is number one. You just watch, Fairbanks, Alaska is number one. And then on the radio they said the coldest city in the United States is Fairbanks, Alaska. And we just burst out laughing. I'm like, of course, that's right where we're at. And then I actually looked it up myself. I'm like, oh my gosh, what do you know? Everywhere you look, Fairbanks, Alaska is the coldest city in the United States. That's in the United States, you guys. And I most certainly understand that there's a lot of you guys in the lower 48 who really experience cold temperatures, kind of like I do here up here in Alaska, and some of you guys endure wind, a really bad wind chill, which can drop the temperatures even colder, you know. And so I know it's not just Alaska. There are other places on the earth also where it gets just as cold because they're at the same latitude as I am on the earth, but we're just located so far north close to the Arctic Circle that it's just like it's amazing how there's even any type of civilization up here, you know. But like I was saying there, guys, I have seen it snow in May. I've seen it snow in June. That, I remember that was a year when I was playing, I was in softball when I was younger, and I remember it got freakishly cold, and it actually snowed, and it was in the middle of June, and that was so bizarre. But I've seen it snow in May, and I've seen it snow in August, and so it's just a very different type of living up here for sure. So forgive me, you guys, for talking about Alaska or expressing my opinions or thoughts and opinions, or even some rants a little bit about Alaska. I try not to let my opinions get in the way or anything, but that's just the facts of a cold climate, and there's a lot of you guys who are very interested in. So I mean, it's all part of health too. It's part of my channel, you know. It's part of our health. I mean, health is not just about food, it's about the climate you live in. And it's amazing how strong and big of an impact that your climate has on your health, for sure, you guys. So it's all part of my channel, you guys, and you most certainly can tune out if you want to. And you're free to do what you want. You're free to do whatever floats your little raw boat, whatever floats your vegan boat, whatever floats your little boat, okay? Alrighty guys, so remember to love being raw. Put a big ol' smile on your face today. I hope I did that for you, and I'll see you guys next video, okay? Bye guys.